Hello everyone, my name is Tyler Clark and I'm a developer advocate at Auth0. And today I'm excited to announce a brand new way to enable businesses and teams to access your application. Introducing Auth0 Organizations. Auth0 can be used by individuals, but more often than not, we see it get used by teams. So when building SaaS and B2B applications, developers need a way to represent and manage those teams. I've put together a little demo SaaS app called ChatZero, and I'm going to walk you through it. I'm going to show you how to set up organizations so that you can have that same flow in your application. Here's our amazing SaaS company called ChatZero. This is a fictional company that sells communication services to other businesses. When team members and their customers' companies log in, they can access a dashboard where they can see stats about their company's usage of this chat platform. If you'd like to follow along, the repo for this app is found here, and there's a link to it in the video notes below. We're going to walk through how to add authentication as if we're ChatZero. We want users to log into their corresponding businesses, which would be customers of ChatZero, and see their business's data and branding. First up, let's log into our Auth0 account if we have one, or sign up for one. After signing in or creating a new account, you'll land on this dashboard. Within the left nav bar, click on Applications and then Applications again. Press the Create Applications button in the top right corner. Choose the single page web app and then give it a good name. For me, I'm calling mine ChatZero. After hitting that Create button, you're going to land on this page here. Click on the Settings tab and then go ahead and add localhost to 3 different spots. We want to add it to allowed callback URLs, allowed logout URLs, and allowed web origins. So as you can see here, just type in HTTP localhost 3000. This is the port in the URL that ChatZero will run if you've cloned and installed the repo. Perfect. Now, scrolling back up, let's grab a few of these values and head over to ChatZero's codebase. We need to locate the Auth0 React SDK provider component and pass it the domain and client ID. Inside of the ChatZero project, there is a file called auth-wrapper.js. This component wraps around the main app component that's on the index.js file. This allows us to grab identity functionality and data throughout the app. So let's copy and paste a domain and client ID from our Auth0 dashboard and paste them into these 2 values here. With those values in place, let's brand our universal login page for ChatZero. Head over to Branding and then Universal Login on the side here. As you scroll down, notice that I've already added a company logo and some colors. Go ahead and add a logo for yourself and some colors. This is going to be the prompt that users will see when trying to log into ChatZero's SaaS product. Perfect. Now, if you try to log into ChatZero as it stands right now, you'll get a normal authentication flow, meaning you're going to see username and password input boxes or whatever connections you've enabled for your tenant. Though this is not the desired outcome, right? We want users to enter in their company's business or organization name into a prompt box and then redirect them to that corresponding organization login to log in. To enable organizations for our ChatZero application, we're going to do 2 things. First, let's head back over to the previous page and notice that there's a Organizations tab here at the top. We're going to want to enable the organization prompt. As it states, this is going to show a prompt to the user to enter their organization, and then that will redirect them to their organization's login. So enable this and then click Save Changes. And then the second thing we need to do is to actually create an organization. This is done on the Organizations tab here on the left. Notice that I've already created one, but we're going to walk through how to create one yourself. Click on the button here called Create Organization, and then we need to enter in 2 pieces of information, a name and a display name. The name is going to be a human readable identifier that the user is going to type into the prompt box to redirect them to the organization. So for this one, I just did a lowercase Acme. And then the display name, as it says, is the name that will display to end users for this organization. So for that, I just did a capital Acme, but you can do whatever you want for yours. After clicking on the Add Organization button, we're redirected to that organization's configuration page. This is where we have the power to control everything about this new organization. First up, as you can see on the Overview tab, I've added some colors and a logo for this new organization. I suggest that you add something to yours as well. Just below that, we can add custom metadata. This can eventually be used for extensibility purposes. The Members tab shows all the current members within this organization. Notice that I already have one, but let's go and add a new user and then add it to this organization. So on the left-hand side here, click on User Management and then Users. Let's create a user, so we're going to give it an email, a password, and click Create. Perfect. Now back in our organization, let's add this new user to it. So on the Members tab and Add Members, I'm going to look for that tyler223@gmail.com. Once I add them, this user, Tyler223, can now successfully log in to our Acme organization under Chat0. Before we go and try this out, let's take a peek at these other tabs. The Invitations tab is how we can send invites to users that we want to have as members in our organization. As you can see, we click on this Invite Members button, and then we can select for which application. In our case, it's just Chat0. And then we can add emails, what type of connection we wish for the user to accept with, and attach a role to the invite. So when the user accepts, these roles will be added to their membership and the organization. And finally, the Connections tab is how we can set organization-specific connections. All connection entities are at the tenant level, so whatever is enabled at this tenant level will have the ability to choose or not to choose from them at the organization level. This gives us the power to really customize the organization login with different connections per different organizations. Alright, with all that explained and set up, let's actually try this out. Make sure you've run npm install to install the node module dependencies and that you're running it locally with npm start. Open up a browser and head to localhost 3000. This is our demo SaaS company Chat0 if you remember. And let's say that I am the Tyler223 user we previously created and assigned to the Acme organization. So assuming that I'm that user, I want to come to this page and eventually land on the Acme branded dashboard that shows the Acme data as well. When I click on the login here, I see the Chat0 branded prompt asking me to enter in my organization, which of course is Acme. After this, I'm redirected to the Acme Universal Login with its logo and colors. Here I'll enter my Tyler223 email and password, and if you remember, I also had the Google connection enabled for this org, which is why you see it here. After a successful authentication, I now see that Chat0 provided dashboard, but it has my organization's branding and fake data. And that's it. That's how you can set up organizations in your own application. And this barely scratches the surface on what you can do with organizations today and what we have planned for it in the near future. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please check out the video notes and links below for more information.